Late Show Band, everybody. Hey, folks, where am I? Here? There you go. I knew I'd find it eventually. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My first guest tonight is an Emmy award-winning actor you know from Homeland, Wolf Hall, and Billions. He now stars in the new limited series, A Spy Among Friends. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Damian Lewis. There you go.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
Please. Nice to see you. Nice to see you again.
I'm sorry.
You're back on television in your first role since Billions, and it's the new series, A Spy Among Friends.
Yeah.
I assume you're a spy? Or are you the friends?
That would be, well, I am actually the friend of the spy, but I happen to be a spy as well.
Okay.
A lot of spying.
Do you like spy thrillers? Because I love...
Who doesn't like a spy thriller?
I don't know. Bad people, I guess. Yeah. But I love a spy thriller. Why do you think it's so alluring?
Well, I think it's the double life. I think it's the total duplicity that people can live one life entirely, seemingly, transparently, whilst having a totally different life going on side by side. I think that's fascinating, and the ability to conceal whilst going about your day-to-day life is I think is a skill. It's also a masterful, strange, sort of shape-shifting skill to have. The two guys that we tell the story about, based on a true story, is about Nicholas Elliott, who is the friend of our most notorious spy in the UK, who was our most notorious traitor in the 20th century, a guy called Kim Philby, who betrayed his country for 30 years working for the Russians, for the KGB, until he was finally caught in 1963. His best friend, Nicholas Elliott, who I play, I have to say, the immaculate and wonderful Guy Pearce plays Kim Philby. And, yeah, right? And Elliott, his best friend, is sent out to interrogate him in Beirut, and they have this now notorious 4 days of interviews, 3 minutes of which gets lost when they go to the window and they open the window onto the Beirut street. And this is still, there are no transcripts of this 3 minutes, and no one knows what was said in those 3 minutes. All they do know is that the next day Kim Philby was on a boat and heading to Moscow. So there was intrigue for many years about Elliott's part in Philby's defection, effectively. He wasn't brought back, he wasn't tried, he wasn't hanged, executed, whatever, in a court of law or in public opinion. And he went and effectively sort of rotted his liver in vodka in Moscow.
We have a clip here. What are we about to see?
Okay.
No, what are we about to see? I'm asking. Do you know what we're about to see?
Steve, it's not working. Oh, sorry. Oh, right.
We don't have to set it up. If you don't, have you seen your own show? Do you know what?
Yeah, no, I only watch things I'm in. So, yeah. This is a debriefing scene when Elliott comes back under suspicion. He is debriefed by an MI5 agent played by the beautiful, brilliant Anna Maxwell Martin.
Jim.
Let's hope it is that scene.
Mr. Elliott, I completely understand why you might need a moment or two to break the ice. Believe me, I do. Would you mind if we now consider it broken?
The word escape would suggest that Philby was in some sort of custody, which he was not. But I do understand the drive of your question, and the answer is this. I simply didn't think he'd run. I was offering him complete immunity and secrecy, with a nice little retirement in the country with his wife and children, for a full confession of everything he ever did for the KGB. I didn't for a moment think he'd choose Russia over that.
Do you think you'd be a good spy?
No.
Why not? I don't think he would either. I've got my theories. Why do you think he wouldn't
So
be a
that
good
was
spy?
kind of like a setup.
No,
You had the answer already.
I had a theory. Well, why don't you think you'd be a good spy?
Well,
If it's my reason, I could see why you're hesitant to answer.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell you my reason first before you answer?
Your reason is already sounding more exciting than mine, so I need to...
My reason is that a
hear yours.
spy should be boring, and you're interesting.
Oh.
But a spy should not be memorable. See?
So nice.
Spy would not do that. Spy does not rub their own nipple in public.
You don't know that I don't have a counteragent out there right now rubbing their nipple back to me right now.
This is true. This is true. So what was your reason?
It's all spycraft all the time. His spy never rests.
100%.
Yeah.
What was your reason for not being a spy?
I think that life of secrecy, they love that culture of secrecy. It's a sort of an elite way to live because you know that you are in a very small elite of people who do what you do. Nobody else knows what you do. And in Kim Philby's particular, the example of Kim Philby is he was double-crossing everybody. See, he was like in an elite of one. And I think that absolutely drove his ego, his narcissism. I think he loved that. I'm not saying I'm not egotistical or narcissistic, because I am both. But I think it would destroy you in the end, having to maintain that level of secrecy, that double life over a long period of time.
We have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more Damian Lewis. Everybody stick around.